One of my newest clients is running an apparel brand that does a little over $600,000 a year. When I started helping her look under the hood at her numbers, we found out that her best-selling product was doing a 36% margin. And because of this, she was quietly bleeding hundreds of dollars a week. Here is exactly how that happens and how we fix it. Now, if you're anywhere between $400,000 to $600,000 a year, you clearly have a strategy that's working. You have a proven product line and an audience that genuinely loves you. That is exactly where Sarah was. But she was finding herself exhausted. She felt like she had to keep running ad campaigns to keep sales moving, and she had to keep lowering prices or changing prices based on what her competitors were doing. All of the little extra expenses that you tend to find inside your company, they were eating up all of the money that she had left over after she would sell into these hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales. Now, when we first met, she thought that she was working on a 50% weighted margin inside her brand. And when we run weighted margin exercises, we're looking not just at what a unit margin is, but looking at what the entire margin profit is for your entire brand, your entire company. What are you spending versus what are you making? And what is that all weighted based on the best sellers in your line and the worst sellers in your line? We're including the units sold in that calculation. Unfortunately, when we went to calculate her true landed costs, that's when we found that 36% margin profit that she was actually operating on. A couple of the things that were killing her margin right off the bat were premium packaging that she was insisting upon for her customer. She hadn't changed that in many years. And when a lot of us start out inside our brands, we want our packaging to create a beautiful experience for our customer. There's a lot of handwritten thank you notes, really thick cardboard compostable boxes, tissue paper, stickers, you name it. We're including it because we want them to come back to us. As we scale and grow, we might find that those premium packaging options are actually eroding our margins more than they need to be. Something else that she wasn't including is the increased cost at her warehouse. In order to pick and pack more and more items as her company grew, her warehouse was slowly raising their prices for her, and she wasn't including that in her bottom line margin. Last but not least, all of those discounts that she was giving and promotions that she was running was eroding the amount of cash that she was actually bringing into the company to pay herself, pay her team, and pay for her general company expenses. Now, at a 36% margin, that means for every $100 that Sarah was making, she was only keeping $36 of it. It became mathematically impossible for her to scale because that wasn't enough money to put into everything that she wanted to do with her brand, including making larger purchase orders from her manufacturer the next time she needed inventory. So let's break down even further where her money was going. With the premium packaging and the extra steps and the overpacking, she was spending $4 per unit on those items every time she made a sale. The thing about those custom boxes and the tissue paper and the thank you notes and those lovely, lovely hits of kindness that we want to send out to our customers does end up in the trash. So we really needed to take a look at that. In addition to her warehouse increasing their prices, she was paying for inefficient shipping. She didn't know that she could reach out to a freight forwarder to help her ship some of her units by sea or by cheaper means. Instead, she was air shipping everything, paying premium costs to her shipping company instead of looking at what might be most cost effective. Logistics costs are one of the highest costs I always see on the bottom line of apparel owners' companies. And if you don't know all of your options or how to negotiate for better pricing, it can kill your profits. Unfortunately, she was also not putting a strategy behind her promotions and discounts. So instead of running the numbers, she was just saying, oh, for this weekend, right now, I need to make some sales, so I'm going to run a 20% off promotion. It's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so I'm going to give 50% off. She had no idea how that was eroding her actual cash flow coming in because she wasn't crunching the numbers up front. It is okay to run promotions and discounts, but you have to have a strategy behind it, and you have to know how it's going to affect your profits. So in my first meeting with Sarah, it was just about the number crunching. We wanted to see what the numbers were. We wanted to see the results. We wanted to get to the truth behind her brand. And then we had to be ruthless. Because Sarah's brand has a sustainability initiative at her company, and it's important for her and her customers, we were actually able to shift her messaging from compostable cardboard boxes to eco-friendly mailers that saved her $2.50 per unit and reduced the amount of trash that was actually going into all of her customers' waste bins. As much as we hope and want to believe that our customers are recycling or composting those packaging items that we send to them, it's not always the case. So by reducing the amount of packaging that she had on her units and by changing her message to a low waste option, it actually increased her customer acquisition. Second, we took a look at her entire line, calculated out all of the profit margins, and decided to drop the lowest 20% of items that were dragging down her average order value. When you look at your entire line that way and you see where the margins are in that red zone, and you have the courage as the owner to walk away from those products that are bleeding you money, that is where true profitability and hockey stick growth for your company happens. We call this process SKU rationalization, and it is one of the most profitable exercises that you can run for your brand. Last but very not least, we raised Sarah's prices by 15%. She was terrified. I remember this conversation. She thought she was going to lose all of her customers. But you want to know something great? Her conversions stayed the same for quite a while. And then before we knew it, they started to grow. And because we decided to drop the items that were losing her money and only keep the items that were in good, healthy margin ranges, her 36% company-weighted margin rose to 58% in just a couple of months. And this is my favorite part. She went from working 80 hours, grinding, not understanding why her company wasn't growing, to paying herself a consistent salary. Now, Sarah did not lack work ethic. She just didn't understand that profit was the number that she needed to be looking at, not revenue. She also lacked the industry systems and know-how that creates the kind of profitability that she now has. Something that she said to me the other day is, what gets you to $100,000, $400,000, $600,000 inside your brand is not the same thing that will exponentially help you to grow in profits from there. You need the kind of systems that the biggest brands use because they know exactly what they're doing. In the final video of this series, I am going to walk you through the 4 operator secrets that separate struggling startups from highly profitable, successful brands. And I'm also going to show you exactly how to implement them. I'll see you in the next one.